Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be looking at the high-grade Gundam F91 from 2013. This is another kit that I've had for a while now, and I have not touched this that much, I don't think. I mean, I'm pretty sure I only built it, messed with it a tiny bit, and then left it on the shelf. But it does have an issue. This is, of course, going to be a polycap build, and the polycap joint here is not strong, I guess. It's very loose when it attaches to the peg. It's like, okay, going down seems to be still an issue, just not as much. But if you were to level it up like this, it just falls, which is quite interesting. Now, I think that is the only issue with this kit, I think, so far. But moving on to the appearance of this kit, you do have an asymmetrical design with the arm here on the its left arm compared to the right arm, which is very plain. Not sure. I don't know. I feel like they could have done a symmetrical design here, but they kept this arm plain, which is interesting. Moving on to the, backpack, I guess. This is non-compatible with your standard backpack attachments. This has no adapters, no attachments at all. I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with the F91, but it does list the armaments on the manual here, on the front of the manual. So I'm assuming it's either a mega machine cannon or a beam launcher. It's got to be one of those. I'm not sure which one though. But these are attached inside of the chest. Of course, it does have that sliding mechanism right there. And yeah, that does attach into the chest. And this entire back area is also attached inside of the chest. So that, because this, everything that you see here on the back that is white, that is all one piece. Well, it's mostly two pieces slapped together, but yeah, so it will be very difficult to attach a backpack on here. It would take a lot of modifications, I would assume. And for the stickers, you do have quite a sticker sheet, actually. So, the eyes, of course, you have the eyes. 5 and 6 are the front and head cameras. There is the back one there. It might be hard to see, but it is there. 16, 17, 15, and 16 again. They are, of course, these ones on the back. I've noticed that these do not like to stay closed. Or, yeah. They don't like to stay closed a lot. So, every now and then I would have to, push down on it and just hope that it sticks. But over time, it just comes off. And 7, 9, and 10 is, of course, the F91, or in the 8. I kind of question this about why the F91 is crooked on the sticker sheet. It's a little interesting to me why they did that. Anyways, 11, 12, 13, and 14, those are all little yellow triangle and black and yellow triangle bits all over the kit that you can see on the side skirts there, the knees, the extended version of that little panel for the shield. And that is that. I don't know where 3 and 4 go, which is right here. I don't know where those go. So if you do know, please let me know so I can use them. Oh, and of course you do get another I variant, which I'm not sure. Is that like the off variant? That might be the off variant. I'm not sure. Anyways, moving on to the articulation. Well, yeah, I went over the appearance. Moving on to the articulation here. I guess moving on to the head. You do have oh, he's bald. You do have a swivel at the bottom inside the chest. Yeah. And you have a ball joint up top. It can do the full 360-degree spin. And there is a slight ball, I think it's a ball joint inside of the torso there. So you do have some minor ab crunch. Well, actually, that's pretty decent. Yeah, oh yeah, that's, well, it's coming off, but it's pretty decent. Now, moving on to the shoulders, you do have a reverse polycap chest shoulder attachment. So there's a ball joint inside of the chest, and the standard polycap chest joint is actually attached to the shoulder here, and that pegs onto that little ball joint. So you do have a swivel up forward. That's as far as that goes, and the actual shoulder joint is going up that far. You do get a 360 bicep swivel and a double jointed bend, which is very good. And of course you have your standard ball joint attachment wrist. Moving on to the backpack here, there isn't much, but you do get a swivel, another swivel, and another swivel right here. And that's all that there is for that. Moving down to the waist, we have front skirts that can go up that far, which is mid. And you have your side skirts that can go a full 360 and can go out not very far. And of course the rear skirt is not moving. So moving down to the legs here, the kick forward can go up that far. That's with the front skirt in the way. Actually, yeah, that is as far as it goes, because I forgot the front skirt does not move that far. Out to the back, backwards is not good. The splits, it can sort of do the full splits. It's almost there. And of course, you have a 360-degree thigh swivel and a double jointed knee bend. With one joint there and one joint there. Moving down to the ankles, we do have separated ankle armor movement, which is attached by a ball joint in the back. And you do have 4.0 polycap issues. And the arm just fell off. And it, okay. I was not expecting that, to be honest. But forward swivel, forward motion here is very good. And to the back, it is also quite good. To the outwards, I think that's as far as it goes. And inwards, that is as far as that goes. And that is all for the articulation. Let me see if I can try to fix this arm. I think it's this way, like that. Yes. Okay. I really was not expecting the arm to fall off there. That's the first time that's happened today. So, of course, this is a small high grade, so I do have a stand for it. Well, a platform. I will put it on a stand later. Moving on to the accessories, we do have, well, I guess we'll start off with the shield here. We do have the extended variant of the shield and the shield effect. Now, in order to attach this, what you want to do is remove this panel. And it does actually reveal some nice molded detail inside of the arm. And what you want to do now is take this extended variant with all the mechanical details and stuff. You want to slide it through that little slot in the shield, like so. Again, that is that triangle sticker right there. And what you want to do is make sure this little peg right here goes into that bottom part right there. And it should look something like this. Wow, that shield is doing its justice, honestly. Well, I don't know if you all can see it that well, but the way the light reflects off of it is pretty cool. But that is the shield attached. And next we do have, something just fell. Okay, I guess we'll look at these, actually. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we do have these. I'm not sure what these are, but I do know that they come out of the shoulders and they extend. So in order to attach these, let me just remove this shield real quick. You want to place your nail underneath the little tab right here, and you want to pull out like that. And this is the closed variant, which is very tiny, to be honest. But you want to take the extended variant and just slide those back in where the closed ones were. Just like that. They just slide right in. Simple. Like that. And that is what that looks like with those attached. You do have, next up, you do have 2 beam sabers. Nothing really special with these. They slide right into the hand, like so. They don't hold very well. You can actually rotate the entire handle inside of it. So that's not a good sign. Oh. Well, it can potentially melt its own hand off if it wants to. Oh, it can, it can hold the beam. Yeah, anyways, there's no storage for the beam saber, for the beam handle. There's no storage for that. I don't think there is. So you'll just have to either display it with or without those beam handles. Next we have the beam rifle, as well as another hand, which confuses me a little bit because this is the hands that are on this kit already are the standard holding hands that you would see with like every kit to ever exist. These hands, on the other hand, I did not mean to make that, but these hands have a trigger finger. However, oh wait, actually, I think it can. Oh, well, you do have the choice of sliding it on like that. But these are sandwich style hands, because I did not see that slot there before. Let me try and take this off. These hands are just like fresh off of the runner. So I didn't build these beforehand. So I guess it just slides in like that, and it can cover up where the trigger is. And I'll just close that up like so. And boom, you have the trigger hand on there. You do get 2 of these, which is one for both hand, and that just simply attaches on like so. Next we have the again, I'm not familiar. It's one of it's either a beam launcher or, okay, I'm gonna call it the beam launcher. I assume it's the beam launcher. But you do have a swivel here, and of course that other hand I was talking about, another trigger finger hand. This is quite a nice beam launcher. I almost forgot what I was going to call it, because every single time that I see a weapon like this, I always want to call it just a bazooka, because that's kind of what they are based on, I think. If we're going off every Gundam based on the RX-78-2, or every model, every main Gundam that has RX-78-2 colors usually has RX-78-2 loadout. So this just looks like a beam bazooka to me. But you do have one last accessory with this, which is this. This is an attachment on the back here. Let me just move. Okay, actually, let me just decapitate him. So what you want to do here is put your nail or something behind a little slot on the side here to pull this piece off, and this peg will go straight into there like so. And this peg right here on the bazooka, because I'm just gonna call it a bazooka for the rest of the review, will peg into that slot up here, just like so. Okay, what's going on here? It worked before. Oh, okay, I think I got it. There we go. And that is the bazooka attached. I'm sorry if I'm triggering you by calling it a bazooka, but I'm not familiar with this kit, so it's not in my head, whatever it's meant to be called. And that is the F91 fully geared up. And moving on to the comparisons. Okay. I guess I'll keep okay, to keep it accurate, I'm gonna have to remove the base. So there is that. Moving it back a little bit. And because that is the F91. We do have a few small comparisons at the end. So first of all, we do have the RX-78-2 and the high grade Wing Gundam 0. And yeah, it's kind of a small kit. RX-78-2 is definitely taller, and it's a little bit shorter than the Wing Gundam. Next, comparisons. Because I don't talk about this one ever, we do have the high grade Jesta Gundam and the Duel Blitz Gundam. Wait, did I call the Jesta a Gundam? Is the Jesta a Gundam? Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure I just called it a Gundam. I don't think it is. But that is the Jesta there. And the Duel Blitz. And now for my favorite comparisons here. We have the small Gunplas. We have the high grade Core Gundam and the real grade Crossbone X1 Gundam. So technically this is the smallest high grade kit that I have, but it does have armor to make it taller, a lot taller than the F91. So I'm not really sure if it counts. No, I'm pretty sure it counts as the smallest Gundam in, well, probably, I don't know, but without any modifications or having to add any armor, technically this is my smallest high grade. I don't know where this stands, actually. I don't. But to compare it with I had to compare it with the smallest real grade. This is the smallest real grade and smallest high grade, and they are actually quite even in height. The Crossbone's falling over. I mean, the F91 is falling over. But yeah, they're pretty similar in height there, which is interesting. I'm not sure if that's how that is realistically, because I don't own the high grade Crossbone yet. I do want to get a high grade Crossbone at some point. Just I haven't had the opportunity to get one yet. But well, there are other kits that I'd rather get before that. Anyways, my shortest Gunplas in my collection. And I actually love seeing them all side by side. And of course, we'll have it on a stand. And do I recommend this kit? Yeah, I guess. It has a few issues. It is a polycap build, so if you do plan to get this, please keep in mind about the polycap issues. What? Why is it not moving? There might, oh, I see. There is a rocking mechanism inside of the torso, which is probably why that happens. And that fell off again. So I do recommend this. It's a small high grade. It's pretty good to like just have on your shelf. And I feel like the F91 is definitely iconic enough to definitely have people buy it. But yeah, there are a few issues, of course, as I showed throughout the review. Yeah, so overall, I guess I do recommend this kit. It's decent. It just has some polycap issues here and there. It's good for panel lining as well. I just use a regular panel type panel liner little kit here. This is what I was getting for the stand earlier. It is a short kit, so you would probably want to put it on a shelf full of other short kits. If you put it next to like the Unicorn or something, the Unicorn is definitely going to stand out a lot more than the F91. And I feel like if you were to put it on a shelf with any large kits, I feel like the F91 can be lost in there. You would have to look for it on the shelf. So I would say put it next to some short kits, maybe like the Wing Gundam collection, because I do have that is how I display this kit actually, which is with the Wing Gundam collection. Anyways, that is all for this review. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and consider subscribing to help out the channel and see more reviews in the future. This is a good kit, honestly. I also really like the design. Anyways, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.